All right, so tomorrow they are releasing title update 10. It seems like a few of you guys might have missed this because the last two division videos, it kind of seems like it didn't reach out to all my subscribers, and I even got the messages from that. So let me know in the comment section below if that actually popped up in the subscriber feed. But yeah, tomorrow title update 10. And I did release a division 1 video 2 days ago if you're interested in that. And yeah, today they actually released the patch notes for that. So I thought in today's video, we're gonna check that out. And if you're wondering what merch I have on me right now, yeah, it looks pretty damn good. It's a Darken, DRKN. I did talk about this brand last video. It's actually a patch here that you can just remove and you can add your own patches, right? So there will be a link in the description for that. It's not a sponsored video. It's not a sponsored video though, but I do get a percentage of the sales. But yeah, check that out if you're interested in high quality division merch. But yeah, with that said, I think we just go right into the patch notes, yeah? I guess it's worth mentioning, I'm gonna be live streaming this tomorrow as well, and expect a lot of videos. Expect a lot of videos covering title update 10. But anyway, let's just dive into the patch notes here. So new season called Keener's Legacy, which is gonna release on July 23rd, so 1 week after title update 10, so next week on Tuesday, which is 12 weeks with in-game activities and unique rewards. So basically super similar to how it is in how the first season was basically. New man-on task with 5 rogues, exactly like the first one. 1 new global event, gonna zoom in a little bit more. New apparel event, Phoenix Down. New league, Termite, Luna, Huntsman, and Titans. I guess all the leagues are actually new then. New rewards, so 2 new exotics. So those are the Wild Mask and the Mantis. There are 2 more exotics, but those are from the raid, right? 1 new gear set, which is the status effect gear set. I can't remember the name. 2 new named weapons, 2 new named gear, and 1 new brand set. So the new brand set is I can't remember the name, but it got the damage to armor, damage to HP, and weapon damage, right? 2 new named weapons, can't remember exactly, but that's with the 2 new talents. Same with the 2 named gear. I think the chest piece is the Headhunter, which is the new brand as well, so that's something I'm definitely gonna be farming. Participating in the activities above will earn players season experience contributing to their season level. Playing conflict will contribute to experience by gaining conflict levels beyond 30. Dark Zone will also work this time around, which is great. Because I felt like last time I really wanted to do Dark Zone, but I couldn't. Then again, Dark Zone is not going to be as good now because it's like not a new expansion, right? New raid, Operation Iron Horse, which we talked a lot about. I even made a video covering the leaks and all that. New bosses, puzzles, and rewards. And I guess for everybody that were doubting that, I mean, Operation Iron Horse, that was exactly the name in the leaks, so yeah. Discover mode will be available at a later date. That sounds good. I think at least like 1-2 weeks with normal, maybe a month, and then drop this. I think that's exactly what they should do. There won't be any matchmaking for this though, which I think is wrong, but hey, that's up to them. But I think they should have tried this raid with the matchmaking. I'm not saying that will work great, because I honestly, on the same page as them, I don't think matchmaking would work good in the beginning, but I think it would be nice to have it there so people can feel it out, you know. Maybe we're wrong, you know. So 2 new exotics, it's the pistol and the rifle, and 2 new gear sets, healer set and tank set, yeah, and new cosmetics. Further details will become available closer to the raid's release in late June, which is June 30, as we saw in an article a few days ago from them. Which I don't think is 100% set in stone though. Here we got the exotic pistol, which is amazing. Balance and bug fixes. Missing localized audio because of COVID, right? It couldn't like get the voice actors basically. New exotic, which is the Mantis. I did make a video about that, and I really love this sniper. It's basically focused on the decoy skill, right? And it's just great. Great for soloing, great for group as well. So you can check the video I have on that one. The Wild Mask is just for status effects, so you can see. Double barrel rifle, the Ravenous, which is the exotic from the raid. I did make a video about this one as well. It did get buffed though after I tested it, which we can look at here. So hits from one shoulder will detonate all of the opposite shoulder's primers when present. I think this swapped so that the armor one will just trigger automatically even if the NPC dies. Then we have the pistol, which is just amazing. 400% weapon damage and does bleed too. You don't really notice the bleed because you're just one-shotting if you use like a headhunter. New gear sets. This is the Eclipse Protocol. Status effect, skill haste, hazard protection. So this is the one that you can get from the season 2, which is a really nice status effect set. It was super fun. I have a video about that one as well if you want to check that. Founder Bulwark, which is the tank gear set. I did make a video about this one as well. Then we have Future Initiative, which is the healer one. So both these two are from the raid. And I also did a video covering this one as well. Pretty nice gear sets. So we'll see how that will change the meta. Then we have the new brand set, Walker Harris, which is 5 weapon damage, damage to armor, damage to health. Just for that, for the damage builds, right? Then we have the new named weapons here. So the SIG 556. So weapon kills grant +1 skill tier for 19 seconds. It stacks up to 3, means you can get 3 skill tiers just from this talent. And when you reach over to skill tier 6, you get overcharged for 15 seconds. So this is probably something you want to try to do with the a hybrid build, right? So probably gonna see a little bit more hybrids with this. Basically for solo, I think, because otherwise it's pretty hard to get the kills. Then we have Resolute MK47 that got perfectly in sync. So hitting an enemy grants 20 skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20 weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increase are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So a lot of like skill stuff we're actually seeing now. So that should make a lot of people happy that want to play skill builds. Then we have a new named gear, so Matador with Perfect Adrenaline Rush, which is a new talent. And obviously the perfect version here. When you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 23 bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. 5-second cooldown, because you can get the same armor effect from the same NPCs. It's just a 5-second cooldown, which makes this pretty crazy. Then we have a Chain Killer, which is Walker as well. So Perfect Headhunter, which I love Headhunter talent. It's just amazing. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals 150% of that killing blow damage in addition to it. Damage is capped to 800% of your weapon damage. This is raised to 1250 if your headshot damage is greater than 150%. So they're trying to make this like a headshot thing, which it makes sense. But I still think they could cap this to maybe 400% and keep this like this, you know? So it's like you have to commit for headshot to make it feel good. New skill variant, which we haven't seen at all actually, because this was not any PTS I think that you could test. So it's Repair Trap. The Repair Trap deploys a line of small devices capable of repairing friendlies in their proximity. Note, the Repair Trap will not be available in game until seasonal prime target unlocks it in August. Oh, so that's why we can see it. So that sounds pretty cool. Hopefully that's the healing box coming back. Immune box that. Yeah, please. So new talent, Future's Perfect that we just went through. Same with Insync here as well. Adrenaline Rush we went through too. And Headhunter here as well. Just the normal values. The other one was perfect. Gameplay changes, missions. Reduced how many elites will spawn in following missions. So that's quite a lot. Loot, added all new seasons 2 weapons / gear to general loot pool so you can get them everywhere. Item power, updated item power distribution to have a better spread between minimum and maximum for all difficulties. Increased minimum rolled item power for the caches basically. That's good because a lot of them had like really bad rolls. Difficulty scaling, regular loot from loot containers. Yeah, basically fixing all the containers and stuff to actually scale. Increase the target loot drop chance for all missions. Added new season 2 brand to target loot rotation. And here we have a kind of big one, I guess. Warlord brands can now also show up as target loot in Washington, including Dark Zones. So that's pretty nice. I hope that would actually happen so you can get the old stuff in the Warlords map, right? But yeah. Named items, increased named item drop chance in regular Dark Zone loot, increased named item drop chance in target loot everywhere. So just higher chance for named, which makes sense because we're getting more named items. Exotics. So added Warlords of New York / Season 1 exotics, excluding Bighorn to target loot. Same here as well. So Bighorn and Eaglebearer are still limited to Legendary and Raid. Control points fix the loot containers as well, so they will scale. You shouldn't see any purples there. And Legendary got that increased NPC loot drop, so hopefully Legendary is like actually worth the farm now, because it haven't really been worth the farm it. Because I think if you can master Legendary, that should be like the way to go. Crafting is buffed as well, higher minimum item power, so hopefully crafting feels a bit more worth, because I wasted so much materials and I didn't get anything. Vendor added named items to both open world and dark zone vendors, increased price for named items, increased item power for all vendors no longer sell superior quality items at maximum level. So a buff to vendors again, which is good because they nerfed that pretty damn hard, so this is good to see. SHD level, so they added field proficiency caches back to SHD levels. It's gonna feel a little bit more worth to level it. So even when you max the season level, you will still get those. And increased crafting materials, which is good because I still have some points saved. Some conflict, you will get season experience and SHD experience when you level up. Then rogue agent, so every rogue agent kill will now drop loot. Rogue agent encounters no longer occur during time trials. Good. A lot of quality of life stuff here. Control point officers. Players survived by a control point officer will now have 80% of the armor restore. Before it was only 0. Reduce the likelihood of control point officers being downed in combat. And then we have bounties. They basically fix them so that they will drop the difficulty you are at or higher. Before you could play like heroic and it would drop a normal one. That's not the case anymore. Then we have some new projects here actually that reminds a bit from Division 1. So season pass holder project slots. So you will have... So season pass holders now have access to an exclusive daily mission which provide a large bonus to experience. And weekly SHD project slot as well for endgame. For weekly supply donation project which rewards them with exotic cash. Okay, my Elgato just screwed up. Then we have a legendary mission project. So you do a legendary mission and you will get exotic cash as well. Which is good though, but the thing is I don't think exotic really matters anymore except the new ones with the exotic like calibration, right? Because you only want them just so you can craft or use them for crafting. So yeah, but sure, this is good, but I still don't think it's like that impactful. But it's better than not having it for sure. RPG balance. Incoming repairs no longer increase the amount of armor repaired by armor kits, talents, or gear sets effect. This is quite big for PvP, even for PvE. So, but this was not working as they wanted. A lot of text here, but yeah, it was basically just too strong for PvE and PvP. The set, like the gear sets or the armor kits, the talents that it would balance, they did not look at the incoming repairs, and incoming repairs were just inflated and making them way stronger than they wanted, basically. Weapon handling got a huge buff, so instead of getting 0.25%, you get 1% of each attribute here, so it's pretty strong now. Then we have talent changes here, so leadership, bonus armor is 15 instead of 12. Spike got a buff as well. Reformation buff. Creeping Death no longer goes on cooldown if there are no valid nearby enemies to apply status effects to. Status effects apply now properly copy the source status effect damage and duration. So just kind of making Creeping Death works as it probably should have from the beginning. Then we have a PvP, which I don't think is getting that much changes though, but hey. At least some. Global damage modifier, so reduced all PvP weapon damage by 20%, so that sounds pretty good. Then we have additional damage modifiers, all of them almost getting reduced except for snipers. And keep in mind, a lot of these are getting lower, but a lot of the weapons are getting buffed, so these are kind of just trying to make them balance at least, right? So I wouldn't worry seeing like 15% AR getting nerfed. Or like SMG getting nerfed by 10, because like SMGs, for example, are getting buffed like crazy, as we will come to later here. Yeah, they basically say that they're doing a lot of buff to base damage of assault rifles, blah, blah, blah. So basically what I just said. Increased double barrel shotgun PvP damage by 16%, which is a bit scary, I think. Pestilence nerfed by 10%, M1A nerfed by 5%. Then we have exotic modifiers, so Merciless. Amplified weapon damage and explosive damage reduced by 50% only in PvP. Then we have the fire holster, so no longer automatically applies the burn status effect to the nearest enemy in range. now requires maintaining range and line of sight for 3 seconds between the holster bearer and the nearest enemy before applying the burn status effect. So this should give you like 3 seconds that you actually have time to like fight the guy. So you're gonna have an advantage over the holster before the holster would just set you on fire instantly. So I think this is pretty good fix to that, hopefully, for you guys that PvP. Then we have Pestilence, so the damage over time effect no longer triggers True Patriot with the white debuff armor repair effect. Which, I mean, with armor repair being nerfed now, maybe this should work in PvE. Honestly, I don't think it should anyway though. It was probably not working as intended. So I think that's overall is good. Then we have gear sets, so we have Negotiators, so reduce the range at which marked targets can damage each other when critical hit, PvP only. Which I can't remember the range, but I think it's like 15 or 20 meters now. Talent modifiers, efficient, reduce specialization armor kit bonus from 100% to 50. Versatile, reduced from 35 to 25. And these are all PvP, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure these are only PvP. So like specialization, so like efficient should still work the same in PvE. I'm not 100% sure though, but I think that's the case. Skill modifiers. Pulse now correctly reveals and highlights all players in Dark Zone, not just host house rogues. Thank God, dude. I thought this was like intended because this was really annoying with Pulse. Because one of the big things is that you can pulse and see who's there even though you're not rogue, right? So this is beautiful. Some buffs to the drone and turret here. Firestarter chem launcher PP damage 20% less. Reduce the bleed damage from Stinger Hive and all the Seeker Mines by 75%, but they did buff those skills to like adjust for it. Because the bleed damage before in PvP was just crazy. Then we have a lot of weapon balance here. Basically just buffs to every single weapon except the meta weapons. So just damage increased overall here. Like look at how many they are buffing, except like these are not getting buffed. Like one nerf here, MG5. Buffs, buffs, buffs. SVD, damage decrease. Damage increase. I'm a bit surprised that like MDR or especially this USC got nerfed though. But I think they should just put them all in line and hopefully we will have a balanced game. But I'm pretty sure some weapons here are gonna stick out and gonna have to be adjusted in the future. But yeah, it's good to see them trying to rebalance the weapons, and hopefully most of the weapons will be viable. But there will always be a meta though, that's just how games like these works though. Then we have exotic changes. So basically with a lot of buff to weapon damage, like weapon handling. Some weapons are just a bit too good or not working as they want them to, especially because of weapon handling. So we have a lot of changes here to weapons, starting with the Bighorn. So damage increase 11.2%, increased optimal range, and then optic mod bonus increased from 0 to 30 headshot damage, or 30% more headshot damage. Mag mod bonus changed from 7 headshot damage to 10 reload speed. So then I got a new functionality here. So headshots grants 2% headshot damage, stacking up to 50 times, which is 100 headshot damage, and then it resets to 0. But that's pretty crazy, like a lot more headshot damage on the gun. So hopefully this is enough. I would still like to see like 10% more mag size or something, but hey, I guess they don't want it to have too much rounds. Eagle Bearer 7.8 damage increase, and swapped the bonus from stability to weapon handling, which is really big buff. So instead of only getting 10 stability, which I mean before it got way less than 10, like what, 2.5? Now it gets 10 stability and then all the other stats too. So a pretty big buff to Eagle Bearer. Chameleon 32.8% buff, and then added this new thing here. So it refreshed when out of combat the buffs, which is probably gonna be pretty huge. And then it swapped some mods here as well. I guess we can go through this. I already did this in a video before, but then again, a lot of you guys probably didn't watch that, so yeah. So you lose 15 accuracy, you get 15 critical hit chance. Sounds really good, but you lose 10 crit chance. But you lose 10 crit chance on the underbarrel and you get 10 stability. So we plus 5 crit chance right now. And I guess that's it. Oh, okay, so you get actually 5 more crit chance then. and you lose some accuracy and gain stability. I think the accuracy is horrible on this gun, and that's something I personally would have liked to see, but yeah. Bullet King, damage increase. Nemesis, damage increase as well. Some 10% more headshot damage on the optic. And lower the weapon handling from 15 to 5. It still get more than before though, just because weapon handling got buffed 4 times the value. Liberty no longer highlights enemy weak points. And it got a new functionality as well. So hit grants 2% weapon damage, stacking up to 30. Which means you're gonna be able to stack up to 60 more weapon damage. And then headshot, you will consume it. So pretty crazy there to get a lot of damage for just hitting body shot. And it swaps some mods here as well. Merciless, damage increase. And then a lot of stuff like mod swapping here as well. Basically, just trying to get it back to where it was before the weapon handling, usually. It's the goal. So there's a new functionality. So at 7 stacks, shooting an enemy deals 500 amp damage and creates a 7-meter explosion dealing 500 weapon damage, consuming the stacks, which is pretty nice. Diamondback, damage increased. Lullaby, damage increase. Lady Diff, damage increased. I think Lady Diff is pretty damn good now. So let's take a deeper look at this. So optic, we get 5 more crit chance. Then muscle, we get crit damage. Right now we plus 5 crit damage, right? Underbarrel, crit damage to melee damage. So we basically didn't lose anything to this point. We just gained 500 melee damage, which I think is really cool. And it's gonna be interesting to make some melee builds with this, because this was already something I wanted to do before. And now we add 500 melee damage to the mix, and yeah, that's gonna be really fun stuff you can do with that. And then they lower the amount of max stacks from 40 to 32. So basically you need to be more on the move to keep the stacks. But they did increase the damage though. But keep in mind, this gun, you need to have 1 stack and you get more damage, right? So it's just, you gotta have to be more on the move to have the buff. Shadowbox, that damage increased by 16.7. And then the same thing here as well. So they basically did a weird thing here. So they reduced the mag size from 60 to 50. And then their mag increased it to 10. So we're back to 60. And we'll lose some reload speed out of it. It's just because of weapon handling getting a buff, right? Pestilence got stability to accuracy. I like that. I like that for sure. And then we lose 10 weapon handling to 10% stability. Don't like that it lost the weapon handling though, but hey. Ninja Bike got a new function here as well. Performing a cover to cover and vaulting reloads your gun. Reloads your drawn weapon and grants 25 bonus armor for 5 seconds. I don't think that's what it needed, but hey, it's a buff at least. The Gunslinger Holster got this pretty huge buff here. So it deals headshot damage anywhere you hit. I'm not that happy with this, to be honest. I think this just makes it too easy. But hey, that's gonna make it super strong. And super cheesable, I guess, in PvP. We have BTSU gloves, so grants 15% hive skill haste per skill tier, which is a new buff. Then it changed detonating a hive refreshes your skill cooldowns and grants overcharge for 15 seconds. If it's skill tier 6, this effect also applies to all allies. So basically you need to be skill tier 6 now to use the BTSU gloves, which makes sense. Sawyers got a new one here, so all stacks lost 10 seconds after moving. So you can actually move for 10 seconds before you lose the stacks. So you basically go and cover, you charge it up, and then you have the stacks for 10 seconds, and then you do it again. Ongoing directive. So the backpack talent is new. Trauma specialist. Increase the duration of your bleed status effect by 50% and all bleed damage down by 100%. Increase the 3-piece reload speed bonus from 20 to 30%. Then we have a tip of the spear here. So they use the talent for PvE and PvP. So the backpack talent is new, called signature moves. Increase specialization weapon damage by 20% and doubles the amount of specialization ammo generated by aggressive recon, which is this one right here. So PvE wise, that's when you're dealing specialization weapon damage now instead of a specialization weapon kill. In PvP, that's now again when dealing grenade damage instead of a grenade kill. So just easier to do, and hopefully this will make this one a bit better, because I remember when I tested this one and made a video, I just thought you didn't get enough ammo. So with this, get double the amount of ammo. That should make it actually good. because it could be a really fun gear set to play with like attack 50. Aces and eights. So the backpack talent is ace in sleeve, so it amps 1 extra shot when revealing your hand. 3-piece headshot damage bonus is now additive rather than multiplicative, which is like an insane nerf, and I don't like this at all. I think it should have been multiplicative, because that just makes sense for snipers, because they benefit super good from that while other don't. So yeah, 20 to 30. Then they should have kept the additive here a bit higher, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. System corruption now repairs 20 of your armor in addition to granting 50% bonus armor. So you get 70% total, and 20% of those are just normal armor. And then it also increases your total weapon damage by 1% per 5% bonus armor up to 20%. So you can get 20% weapon damage as well, which is just crazy. So this will probably make this gear set really, really good in PvP. Then we have Striker. So they reduce the stacks lost from 3 to 2 as a base. And then the backpack talent no longer reduce numbers of stack loss, because that's just on the gear sets now. And new, increased total weapon damage gain per stack of Striker Gamble from 1.5 to 1.65. So just a bit more damage per stack. But yeah, probably gonna have some fun with this later on. Then Negotiator's Dilemma. Damage transfers on the initial bullet that marks a new target. Okay. Hardwire increased the 3-piece repair skill from 15 to 30%. Then we have some brand set changes, not that much though. Basically, like all the repair skills goes from 15% to 20. Incoming repair brand set bonus increased from 15 to 20. Headshot damage from 10% to 15. Accuracy to 20. Stability accuracy up to 20 as well. And reload speed stability as well. Then we have a specialization changes. So gunner specialization, the weapon handling bonus reduced from 15 to 10% just because weapon handling got a big buff. Then we have a skill changes to the UI. Now displays bleed damage and duration. The cluster seeker mine targeting accuracy improved. Yeah, basically because it just wasn't that accurate before and it was really frustrating to play this. So that should be a bit tighter now. Stinger Out base damage reduced by 20, and Stinger Out damage bonus per skill tier increased from 10 to 20. So basically to get damage with the hive, you just have. And I don't know why my Elgato is messing up. Then we have the Chem Launcher. The Riot Foam got reduced from 20 to 10% per skill tier. Reinforcer have been updated to just clarify some UI stuff. Nothing have changed with the skill. Then we have Firefly, where they reduced the blind duration from 20 to 10 per skill tier. Then the base blind from 6 to 5. And the cooldown now begins after the end of the effect. So quite a big nerf to Firefly, but I think it was kind of deserved though, because blind there was a bit too strong. I mean, I love the skill though, but it's still like really good. Pulse, Banshee Pulse cooldown increased from 20 to 30, and it confused duration from 5 seconds to 4. Same with Jammer 4 to 3. And that's also like an insanely good skill as well. So it makes sense to get a little bit of nerf. Then Shock Trap base shock duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. PP duration is the same. Shock Trap base radius increased from 2 meters to 2.5. When the active duration ends, its cooldown is refounded an equal number of seconds that it was active. That's a lot of text. And then we just have a lot of bug fixes here. I saw my OBS here and I've been recording for 35 minutes. It's really hard to... my Elgato is just messing up. It's really hard to keep these patch notes videos short these days, dude, because there's so much info. It's actually crazy, which is really good by them, because the patch notes these days are actually top tier. And yeah, hopefully this video is actually viewable, because I think it might have been screwed up here. I guess I have to edit that. Blinder Firefly's cooldown being delayed after applying its effect is unintended and will be fixed. Merciless Ruthless is currently not getting stacked correctly when using Negotiator. Negotiator Dilemma is still doing incorrect, lower than intended damage against marked targets in PvP. Increased rifle base ammo. Vanguard talent duration. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it's a lot of bug fixes here. I feel like I don't have time to go through all of these. But you can basically just pause the video here and you can read them yourself, I guess. Trying to see if I find anything interesting. It's just so much. But yeah, I think it sounds pretty good. Tail update 10, a lot of quality of life stuff, a lot of good fixes. I think the main issue is content. We're gonna run out of content pretty quick, and we're gonna rely on the raid. If you don't raid, then there's not much content except the season, which I don't think is the most fun content, sadly. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the changes and the title update 10 or the raid and all that. And yeah, I will be live tomorrow with title update 10 on the twitch.tv/widdz. So hope to see you guys there tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the video though, and see you guys in the next one.